All right, welcome to your second video for your online AP Statistics course. This video is just going to be a quick orientation video. The other video explained how to use Blackboard, so make sure you watch that one. And this one will be what is expected of you for the online AP course. So this is, in place of doing this during our live orientation, I want you to make sure that this is completed and you've looked at this before our live orientation so you can have any questions that you have answered. So these are just some basic expectations of the course, some questions that students have had in the past that hopefully we can clear up now so that they don't become questions later on. So you might ask to yourself, all right, what do I need to do well in the online AP Statistics course? Number one, these are just your basic steps to succeed. Please make sure that you go to Blackboard on a daily basis and see what is due each week. The main thing is to make sure you complete the course content, which you should know what that was from the previous video. So that's going to be where your main learning occurs. And then make sure you turn in any assignments such as test quizzes, your discussion board, and your frappies. Those are really going to be the only 4 types of assignments that you're going to have to turn in. And as long as you've completed the course content, these should hopefully be a good reflection of what you understand from the course content. And then the last thing that you'll need to do is make sure you attend the Collaborate chat sessions weekly. They will be worth 20 points each, and they will be kept to an hour or less this year. All right, so one of the things that I wanted to make sure I emphasize was at the beginning of each section, there is a note packet. So when it says 5.1 notes, if it says Unit 1 notes, Unit 2 notes, Unit 3 notes, those notes are provided, they're note sheets, they're provided so that you are able to take notes as you're going through the PowerPoints. I would highly suggest keeping a notebooks with the tabs labeled for each unit, including a section for homework assignments, and then a section for frappies, and then a section for the actual learning, so that when you go back to study for the AP exam, it's very easy to just take a look at your past material. You will be turning in a discussion board at the end of each unit. A few of the units have 2 discussion boards. I believe there's only 2 of them. They're worth 10 points each. What you'll need to do is you'll need to have 1 original post. So that means you'll be actually posing a question that you didn't understand from the unit. And the second thing you'll need to do is you'll have 1 response to another student. So you will be able to answer a question. The quizzes for each section, they'll mostly be multiple choice. They won't all. There's a few that are some free response and multiple choice. And then we're going to go over in a minute what the quiz corrections are. They'll be due before each exam. And then for each unit exam, one portion will be multiple choice. The second portion will be open-ended. And this reflects the way the AP exam is modeled. And you will have the opportunity to do multiple choice test corrections for each of your multiple choice sections. All right, so first thing, let's just talk about the homework quickly. So what do you need to know about the homework? I had one student one year say, make sure you clearly state that it is graded for correctness. The homework is graded for correctness. The homework expectations are very clearly outlined in the practice problems and the PowerPoints, so you may use those to complete the homework assignments, but just understand that I will be grading it for correctness, not just turning in for 10 points for turning your homework in. The second thing is I am picky. Why am I picky? Because the guidelines are really clear in the PowerPoints and the practice problems, and if I'm picky now, that means when you go to take that AP exam, you're going to find it pretty easy. The third thing is you might not realize about AP Statistics is this is often as much of an English class as it is a math class. Why? Because the explanation is the most important part. We're taking a look at data, we're manipulating the data, and we're checking to see what kind of story that the data tells. If we understand what the data the story tells, we need to be able to take that understanding and explain it to somebody who might know nothing about statistics. We have to convince other people that what the story that we're seeing is true. So keep that in mind. That's going to be just as important as the mechanics of the math. All right, so let's just say you took a test, a multiple choice quiz or exam, and you said, I really messed up on it. What can I do? Well, the answer to that is quiz and exam corrections. So for each quiz and the multiple choice portion only, you will have the opportunity for quiz corrections. So what does this mean? This means that you'll earn half credit back on all multiple choice quizzes and multiple choice exams. Well, how can you do that? In order to do that, you must complete the quiz corrections by the due date or they will not be accepted. So on the calendar, it's listed when they're due. They're basically all due before the end of each unit. I do not accept them after each unit. So please just make sure you have them done by the due date on the calendar. I don't accept late work for multiple choice corrections. The other thing you have to do is you have to make sure you explain the problem, basically pretending that the person that you're talking to knows nothing about statistics. So think about your younger brother or sister. If you were explaining the problem to them, how would you do that? So you have to demonstrate that you understand what you did incorrectly and how the answer should be correct. So I just wanted to quickly go over the grading policy. Each quarter is determined by total points. Your final grade for the year is the following. Each of the quarters are worth 15% and the midterm and final are worth 20. Why are the midterm and final worth so much more? Well, the reason for that is so that we can verify the grades that you got each quarter through your midterm and your final exam. So these are the only two exams that you have face to face. So this is just verifying basically that you were essentially the work that you turned in was your true work. Now I know that many of you are seniors and you'll have to send first semester grades. Those will be done. Your first quarter and second quarter will each be 30% and the midterm exam will be 40%. So those are weighted in the same way in which your final grade for the year will be weighted. Okay, so turning stuff in on time, I know that a lot of you are very busy with extracurricular activities and traveling, so you have a calendar that's listed for the entire year. So please make sure that you plan ahead and plan according to the calendar based on what you have to do. So what are your expectations? Number one is that they're on time, so 100% credit. Okay, if they're 1 or 2 days late, it'll be 20% off, and if it's more than 2 days late, it's 30% off. The most important thing is to make sure you plan ahead and turn your material in on time. Well, what's on time? So all assignments are due on Thursdays and Sundays at midnight, so it's really easy for you to know what days to look for your homework assignments and what days you need to be responsible for turning stuff in. You say, I'm really busy during the week. Can I work ahead? Absolutely. If you want to complete all of your homework assignments for the week on a Sunday, go for it. I just don't want to put that pressure on some students that might, be difficult to do all of that work on one day. But if you want to do that, go for it. All right, so I just wanted to go over one of the key things to AP Statistics is think, showing, and telling. All right, so your AP Statistics problems will be much easier if you know where you're headed and why. It's going to save you a lot of work, and you'll understand as we start going through this course. So showing is the most important thing about statistics, okay? So one of the most important things. You're going to have to show the mechanics of calculating statistics. So right now, get used to the fact that you will have to be showing your work. Making displays, graphical displays, is always important, and we're going to be going over that, but just keep in mind that showing your work in this class is going to be very important, along with telling what you've learned. So until you've explained your results to someone else and they can understand your conclusions, your job is not done. So remember that I said we're looking at data and looking at the story that data tells. This is where you're going to be explaining that story that your data tells to other people. Okay, so please make sure that you have watched these two videos, and please make sure that you have filled out the Google Docs on Blackboard in order to earn credit. I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday for your live orientation. So please make sure that Blackboard Collaborate is up and running for that orientation.